It's just after Halloween. Do you have any Halloween treats hanging around your place that you didn't give out? I do. So I was thinking about sugar, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what's really true about, eating things like little chocolate bars and candies, and what's the truth about sugar and inflammation. Basically, from my understanding. So if you're like me, you've heard and learned that eating sugar is not good for you. It causes inflammation.
Hi, I'm just uploading this video, and I wanted to tell you about something I listened to when I was driving home. It was the podcast by Doctors Ayesha and Dean Shirzai, who are the brain docs. You can find them online, and they've written books about brain health. They have a podcast now, Your Brain On, and this episode is Your Brain On Sugar. I highly suggest that if you're interested in anything to do with sugar and how it affects your brain or your health in general, definitely listen to this episode. And it's dated February 13th. But if you Google Your Brain on Sugar, I'm sure you will find this podcast.
And yet, on the other hand, being a nurse, one of the things that saves lives is glucose. It's a whole complicated kind of system. Our bodies are so beautifully in sync and work so well usually that there's so many steps to it. But in the simplicity of it, for instance, if you're a diabetic, like a type 1 diabetic that uses insulin, you have to give yourself insulin. The way to save your life if you have too much of it is to give you pure glucose directly, either by IV or in your mouth under your tongue, so that you can absorb it immediately. Glucose is life-saving. It's also what gives you energy. So I guess the question is that I've heard people that have had, have cancer over the years and things like that, and they totally avoid anything that's got sugar. Basically, I'm talking about free sugar. Free sugar is like just having a teaspoonful of sugar or candy that has no nutritional value whatsoever, but is just purely glucose or a form of sugar. And they avoid it because they say that it feeds cancer. Sugar causes inflammation. So I was just thinking about that as I'm munching away on all these little chocolate bars. And so I had to do some review for myself about the types of sugar. And anyways, you need insulin for glucose to get into your muscles and into your fat. But you don't need insulin for the glucose to get into your liver, into your brain, and a few other places. It's got free access. So I'm starting to think, and this is just my idea, this is not that a lot of people say that they really get addicted to sugar. And I find too, if I have one piece of sugar, like some treat, I crave more. Usually if I avoid it, I don't even crave it. It could sit there forever and I don't touch it. But if I give in, I want it more. And that's because it's got full access to my brain. It doesn't require insulin. It just goes in there and makes me feel good. And that's why I want more of it. So that's a good reason to avoid it. Plus, it's got no nutritional value whatsoever. If you have enough in your system that you're not needing the glucose for energy, why eat it? You're just adding pure calories to your system. You're getting your body addicted to something that has no nutritional value or no benefit to you. So why bother? What other things can I tell you that's bad about it? If you're starving, say you're on a deserted island and you have nothing and you found a chocolate bar, of course you need it. Your body will want it, and it's what will save your life. It'll give you some energy. But us that are eating well, having our meals, and then adding that extra bit of sugar, when everything that we eat gets broken down into a form of glucose so that our body can use for fuel. So why add extra fuel? And that's the reason we end up with fatty liver. It gets into our liver and it goes through all these mechanisms that gets either used as energy or stored in there, turns into triglycerides, and turns into fat in our liver. So when you hear about fatty liver, it's because usually you've got too many calories. That's my understanding of why you end up with like that. And then you end up with insulin resistance and so many other things. So I don't know if this has made any sense, but besides the taste of it, and I don't think it would harm you to have a piece here and there, and especially if you're not eating in excess of the calories you should, then I don't think, it's not going to kill you, in my opinion, to have a piece of something once in a while. But if you're eating in excess calories already, it's going to add to the problem and add to the fact that you could end up with fatty liver, insulin resistance, and all kinds of other problems because of that, because of just adding something into your system that you don't really need. Anyway, I'm just curious what your thoughts on that are, because like I said, glucose saves lives, but it also can cause damage over time, and I've seen enough of that. So let me know what you think, and if you have treats left behind after Halloween. All right, I'm going to continue my walk. I need to walk a bit faster. So I'll see you the next time. Have a great day. Bye.